Hey guys, okay, so here's the application problem for lesson 3. It looks overwhelming because there's A, B, C, and D, but I promise you it's not. It's much easier than it looks. So let's take it from the beginning. Take it slow, one sentence at a time, one question at a time, okay? So first we have A, and it says use the tally chart, which you know these are tallies. So use the tally chart. Sorry, there was a car. Use the tally chart to fill in the picture graph. And here is the picture graph. So really you're doing these at one time. If you count how many Jose has, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you notice, in your problem it says each dot stands for one book. So if we know Jose read 8 books, then I'm going to fill in how many spots here? How many dots? 8. So let me do that real quick and show y'all what it would look like. Okay, so I'm at Jose and I'm going to fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. And so now my chart looks like that. Okay, now let's look at Laura. So Laura only read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. I'm going to do Laura in a different color so you can see. So again, I'm going to find Laura on my chart and I'm going to draw how many books she read, which we just said she read 5. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So now your chart should look something like this. Now, there's nothing for Linda, right? And so there's nothing for Linda here either. If we don't have that information, we just don't have it yet. Now let's move on to B. B says draw a tape diagram to show how many more books Jose read than Laura. So we know Jose read more. We can see it here and we can see it in our tally chart. I like to draw 2 tape diagrams, and I think that's a good idea for y'all. The shorter one would represent the person who read less, and we know that person was who? Laura. So I am going to write an L for Laura in that small tape diagram. And I had already drawn these ahead of time. Y'all will have to draw them as you go. They're not drawn on your page for you. And then the longer one, who do you think that represents? Jose, because he drew more. So I'm going to use Jose's color and I'm going to put a J. And that shows me how many more books they read, but I'm missing something. Remember, we always need to label with numbers. So let me use a different color. If we know that Laura read 5 and Jose read 8, this right here is how much Jose read that Laura didn't. So what are you really doing? You're doing 8 minus 5. Or you could look at her 5. Let's write those numbers in there. 5 and 8. Okay, and you need to see, if we wanted Laura's tape diagram to be just as long, how many more would I need? I would need 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So this difference here is 3. Okay, so let's move on now to C. C says if Jose, Laura, and Linda, now we're including Linda, if they all read 21 books together, how many books did Linda read? So who do you know? Who do you know already? We already know Jose and Laura, right? So we need to put them together. How do we put things together? We add them. So I'm going to add how many Jose had, which was 8, and I'm going to put together how many Laura had, which was 5. So my equation becomes 8 plus 5. And we know 8 plus 5 equals 13. So if they both read 13, but all three of them together read 21, how can I find the difference? Subtraction. So I'm going to take 21 minus the 13 I already know. 21 minus 13. I'm just going to count up because I'm running out of room for a strategy. But remember our strategies. You can do a place value chart, base 10, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to count up from 13 until I get to 21 and see what my answer is. Ready? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we know that Linda read 8 books also. So now, D, all it says is to fill in the tally chart. So we need to fill in, first of all, that 21 minus 13 equals 8. And then we need to fill in Linda. Linda has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we need to fill in this chart. And I'll use a different color for Linda so we can see. But we're going to draw our 8 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the end of the problem. Y'all did an awesome job. Keep in mind that these long problems can look hard sometimes, but they're not. Take them apart. Take them step by step, and you can do it. Okay? I'll see y'all in a second for the lesson 4 application problem.